Entry 741021! Perhaps this station will hold the key to the real goals of Group 935. I still do not trust my unconventional allies, but they are of great use to me. But I digress. Who would have thought the MDT was capable of time travel? How many stations does this group have? Where did that little girl disappear to? Only time will tell what new questions await us in this theater of the damned.
Oh joy! No power!
Well, that's not exactly who I wanted to play, but I guess we had to play with the cards we're dealt with. What's up, ladies and gents? xcalizorz here, bringing you some Kino der Toten strategy. Kino! It's a way to start things off. Theater of the damned, theater of the dead, whatever. Float your boat, it is all the same. First things first, we are going to buy Quick Revive, and there were a lot of questions asking why I did that. I was pretty sure I explained that. That's too loud. I was pretty sure I explained it, but if I didn't, I do apologize. That is my bad. But Quick Revive has a different function in solo zombies, in that it functions like a continue, a free man, a one-up if you're getting your old school on. Basically what happens is you go down, and you will have akimbo Colts that are upgraded, so you'll have Mustang and Sally, dual grenade launchers when you go down, and after about 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that, you can get revived. You'll get picked up, you won't have your perks, you'll still have your guns. That's a good thing, but yeah, it's just like basically like a continue. That's how it works. As you know, when you're playing solo, sometimes mistakes will be made, and when you're playing solo, at least back in the olden days, there was nothing you could do about it. One mistake and you were done. But the Treyarch looked at it and said, well, we can't have people doing that and getting around 50 and then they get stuck in a corner and all for nothing. And now Quick Revive is here to make up for blunders. You only get 3 of them, so I would have 2 more goes at the machine and then it would disappear. So just be sure to keep that in mind. You do not want to get down before round 10. At least I wouldn't anyway. It would be rather embarrassing, but you know, to each your own, or to each their own, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But as always, with the starting rounds, you want to knife them, because knifing is more points, and the faster you get your points, the better off shape you'll be. If you're not comfortable knifing, I mean, you can feel free to buy a weapon off the wall. I wouldn't recommend any of these weapons in here because they are actually quite weak. And for, as always, you knife them. For round 2, it would take 2 knives, or if you want to shoot them, you can shoot them 8 times in the stomach or chest, and then knife them for maximum point gain. Round 1 would be 6 shots, and 6 shots in a knife. Round 3 will be 11 shots in a knife. Round 4 will be 16 in a knife. But after round 4, it becomes a little silly to knife, so don't do that. And since I wasn't lucky with the max ammo here, I will go ahead and open the door. This is the route I will take. I do not open the other door up the stairs into the PM63 room. I prefer to keep that one closed. And from this point, it's up to you if you still want to knife. It's kind of a gamble, because when you knife them, it's very hard to avoid the drops, like the nuke, double points, the ammo, all that fun stuff. You want to avoid those at the start, because you don't want to end a round with an instant kill or double points, and that's a lot of time that is wasted. So, but it's a trade-off. Knifing them is very rewarding, points-wise. Can't be beat. But at the same time, if you get a nuke during the middle of a round, that is a ton of lost points. So it's up to you. Pick your poison. You want more points at the risk of getting a nuke, or you just want to be consistent and go for headshots. It's all up to you. Just keep in mind that you don't have to follow what I do in this guide, video guide, word for word. I would prefer it actually if you kind of use it as a guideline and, you know, kind of implemented your own strategies. But if you like what I do and that's what works for you, and that's just as fine. It really does not matter in the end, just as long as you are able to do better than you were before without the guide, or with the guide, excuse me. That is all I can hope for. And these early stages, you got to be careful with if you are deciding to knife, not to knife into a crowd, because 2 swipes is all it takes without Juggernaut, so be careful. When you get hit, you will know that you regen, but let's go ahead and see if I can demonstrate that. See that little hit indicator, or directional hit indicator, when that fades away completely, your health is regened. So if you still have that marker up, do not go in for a knife, because bad things can and will happen. And that would be most unfortunate. See, if I would have knifed that guy, I would have gotten the nuke. There was a little technique you could employ in World at War to kind of avoid it, but that is now gone with the introduction of the teleporting slash. Like before, I was able to like kind of hug the zombie and back away and slash, but the slash kind of teleports you to the zombie. And this is an early dog round, unfortunately. This is why I would recommend going the route of the MPL, because you do not want to. You really wouldn't want to fight dogs without the help of Juggernaut, because there is a weird glitch that they do where they can double bite you or sometimes triple bite you, and if that happens, you are done. And even though I was maximizing the points the best I could, I still do not have enough to go for Jugs, so something to keep in mind. Because if you do get an early dog round, you probably want to go get the MPL or 74U as soon as possible, whichever floats your boat. I do think we need another 1,000 points or so, and then we'll be good. The MPL is actually it'll serve you well to round 10 if you decide to hold on to it. You don't necessarily have to. It's, you know, whatever floats your boat. I'm just waiting to have enough points to open all the doors at once in one fell swoop, so just hold it out in here. Remember, always go for headshots on zombies, because zombies is all about maximizing your points and minimizing your ammo consumption, and going for headshots will help you greatly with that, because you do not want to shoot the zombie 3 times in the chest for a kill, which would get you, what, 70 or 80 points. When you can shoot him in the head, you get 100 points. I think these are giving me, what, 120 or 130, something like that, and I think we have enough points to start moving on, opening all these doors. It's starting to get a little overrun. So the sooner you get Juggernaut, the better, so when you have all the points to do that, go ahead and do so. And I might have actually overestimated the amount of points that that I needed to get. Whoops, my bad. It's cutting it a little close. And I think I'm also going to cut it a little bit more closely, because I'm going to go for the Bowie knife first, the Bauer knife, because Jack Bauer is a badass, and Jack Bauer probably approves of the Bauer knife. And maximize our points a little bit more, shoot him a few times, and then knife him, as opposed to just straight up knifing him, because that would be 30 points you wouldn't get otherwise. Gotta be careful with the little health regen thing. Be sure that your health is fully regened before you go into knife a zombie. I know the Bowie knife is a one-hit kill on these zombies, but there have been times when I have knifed a zombie, killed him, but he's still got a swipe off and I died, so you gotta be careful when you're knifing. It's very rewarding when it works, and when it doesn't, it is very, very disappointing. So sure to keep that in mind. Killing all those zombies on accident, that is quite a debacle. I do not like that. But now we are in good shape. We have a Bowie knife, we've got Juggernaut, and the Bowie knife is good up until about round 9 or 10. It gets weaker a round quicker than it did in World at War zombies on Reese, the giant. So it's something to keep in mind, but that does not diminish the amount of points that you get. Shooting them and then knifing them still works great, so that is what we will be doing. With Juggernaut, you should be able to survive these rounds, no problem. So knife them and shoot, so on and so forth. If you wanted to be a real point whore, you can round up the zombies and then just start unloading Colt ammo into the crowd of zombies. Bullets in zombies will penetrate up to 3 zombies, so 1 shot for 30 points is what you want to do when you're shooting into a crowd. These earlier rounds you can get away with it because the ammo that you get and the damage that the guns do will carry you into dog rounds, but as you get further on into the rounds, you will have to maximize your point flow, point gain to, oh shit, getting trapped. Don't be afraid to open doors if you have to. Probably didn't have to open that. I was going to open that anyway because you do need sleight of hand, but if you have to open a door to get away, by all means do so. It is better than dying, because dying would be most unfortunate. I'm taking a lot of hits, but because Juggernauts can survive quite a few, these crawler zombies are actually quite weak. I think they do the same damage as dogs. Without Juggernauts, they can kill you in 3 hits. Dogs are the same, zombies are 2, so I think they have the same damage as dogs, but pretty weak, you know, whatever. Where is the box at? If you want to know where the box is, you can look on this convenient little map. Wherever the green ping is, the green light, that is where the box is, so it would be in the MPL room, actually. I didn't even notice that. Whoopsie daisy. But this is pretty much the strategy for these earlier rounds. You get the Bowie knife, you get your jugs, and you just knife zombies for maximum point gain. I will be going with the M16 upgraded as my primary weapon. It's just because I do not like running out into the alley to buy 74U ammo. 74U, I think, is the superior gun of the two. But let's go ahead and bring this out. 3-shot burst. I'll make use of that, shooting the zombies. Oh, starting to build up quite a few. Make sure you don't get too tunnel visioned on what's going on in front of you, because if one zombie spawns behind you and the whole train is in front of you, that can spell disaster. And since instant kill is fading, they're just going for a bunch of knife kills. You can see double points with a knife kill is unbeatable. 260 points is monstrous, and that's unfortunately one of the downsides to knifing. But thankfully, the round was pretty much over, so I didn't lose too much. But we have enough points to go ahead and upgrade our M16. So once you get enough points, you want to get an upgraded weapon as soon as possible. You can forego getting sleight of hand until you get an upgraded gun. At least that's the way I prefer to do things. You don't have to, but works for me. And the upgraded M16 is fully automatic. It is like a commando in multiplayer, and it comes with 9 noob tubes, which is excellent for making crawlers. See? Look at that. 1 noob tube, half a dozen crawlers. So when you need to go fiddle around with the box, you've got M16 to make crawlers for you. You don't have to rely on the monkeys or grenades and all that stuff. Just whip out the noob tubes, make a crawler, and win the prize. And I think after this round, we will have to start dealing with the Bowie knife. The Bowie knife will stop being a one-hit kill. And this is kind of a kiting route that you can employ. It's not too good in the later rounds, but for these early stages, it'll work fine. Just start knifing them, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you could start... after this point, you don't really need to worry about maximizing your points too much, just as long as you can kill the zombies without running out of ammo, then you'll be fine. But the more points, the more better. After this point, we will go ahead and upgrade, or get sleight of hand, excuse me, not upgrade. We're not upgrading anything, we have to go get sleight of hand. What am I talking about? So, whenever you get the points after upgrading a gun, feel free to get sleight of hand. I'm feeling... yeah. How did that miss? Gotta be careful with those crawler zombies. You can... they're a little iffy hit detection wise, especially in multiplayer. So when you're knifing, you gotta make sure you're looking down. The auto aim will not take care of it for you on those. So something to keep in mind. So once we get to this point, we've got all 3 perks. We've got an upgraded gun. It's pretty much smooth sailing up until about round 16 and 17. Then you'll have to start looking towards your endgame strategy. So it's pretty much the same thing. You can shoot and knife the zombies, that'll work fine, but the zombies will all start to become runners, so knifing may not be the wisest thing to do. So what we can do here is, what I like to do is I like to just pretty much just run around the theater. This is a nice open space, and if things get a little too crowded, you can start running around. You can take a looping strategy, go through the lobby, go to the little fire trap room, then to the alley, then up the stairs and back here, and that's pretty much a nice looping strategy. You don't have to go that way. You can go the other way through the MP40 room and PM63 room. All works the same, doesn't really matter, but you know, from here on out, it is pretty much just running around in circles for me. You can knife the zombies if you like. I've got double point. Oh, get myself backed into a corner. That's very sloppy. Yeah, that was bad. Don't want to get caught in a corner like I did. That would be very noobish. That was really bad. You can still one-shot the crawler zombies, but the regular zombies are a little bit more resilient now. Go ahead and start employing a little kiting strategy. This is pretty much what I do. Is I make a loop around here. You don't necessarily have to stick to this. Sometimes you will have to take the way down the alley, but if you can maneuver your way around the zombies, you'll be good. I mean, there's plenty of room. You should not get caught. If you see an open way, take it. You don't have to go like in a circle. I mean, you could weave through the middle there. You can pick whichever way. You don't have to go through this way or the other way. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it's open. And once you round up the crowd, just unload shots into the general vicinity of their head. You actually don't even really need to go for headshots anymore. Just as long as you hit 3 zombies with 1 bullet, it does not matter what you choose to do. And this is pretty much what you will do up until about when you get 20,000 points. Actually, I'm feeling a little dangerous. Let's go ahead and hit the box 1 or 2 times because I would like to get rid of the MPL. Maybe try my luck. So let's see what we get there. And you don't have to. I mean, you can buy a 74U off the wall and you'll be fine. Or you could even run with the MPL ballistic knife. That would work, but for solo, its effect is a little diminished because all the zombies are coming after you. Whereas in multiplayer, you know, zombies are split up among 4 people. So, you know, after this point, it's pretty much just run around the theater, wait till you build up about 20,000 points, and dump them all at the box. So, let me go ahead and do that, and, you know, the round 11 strategy will not differ from round 20. It's pretty much the same thing. The only thing that's different is the zombies are tad bit stronger. So, give me a bit, and I will be back with you guys. Alright, now the next step in the process to zombie carnage is once you get to about 20,000 points, you can go a little bit lower than that, but 20,000 is a good number, and you should get that around round 14, 15, 16, 17. Those numbers are what you're aiming for. You don't want to wait, you don't want to put this off for too long, and you don't want to do this too early. I mean, you can, but I prefer to have all of my points and go at the box in one fell swoop. And pretty much what we are doing now is we're working for the thunder gun, and that's really all I pretty much want out of the box. Monkey bombs are great. I guess they are good, but I really haven't found a good use for them. Like, they're good for getting max ammos and all that stuff, but other than that, I don't know, just whatever. And pretty much just going at it until we get a thunder gun. That is the end game strategy here. M16 upgraded with a thunder gun. And before anyone wants to say, well, why are you putting the Galil back in the box? That gun is awesome. And yeah, it is great. The Galil, the Commando, they're all fantastic weapons. But once you get into the later rounds, zombies start taking way too many shots to kill. And when you run out of ammo, there's less zombies that you can kill. And how are you gonna get ammo for those box weapons when you can't kill any zombies, you know? So you always, anytime you're playing solo zombies, even in multiplayer, you at least want to have one gun that you can buy ammo for off the wall, because when you have no ammo, you have no points, you can't buy traps, you can't do anything at all, you can't buy more upgraded weapons or what have you. So when you have no point gain, you're done. You're done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So what you do to get around that, you pick a gun off the wall. Yeah, the M16 is not as good as the ray gun in Commando, but at least you have infinite ammo for it. You don't have infinite ammo for the Galil. It just does not work that way. So when playing zombies, that is something to keep in mind. And hopefully I will get a thunder gun. If not, I'll just keep on doing. Up, there we go. How about that? Ooh, could it be the DD3? Is that what they call it? But anyway, that's pretty much all. Up until about round 25, you can actually probably round 20, a little bit sooner than that. You can keep doing what I was doing before, you know, running around the theater. I actually had to open up the doors to avoid getting trapped, but now we have the thunder gun, which is pretty much a no shit button, but I will get into that later when we start getting into the endgame strategy. So once you get 20,000 points, start hitting the box, and you should be able to get a thunder gun before you run out of points. So yeah, stay tuned for endgame. And here's a little thingy mabobber that people like to ask me about. Is when you get teleported into those rooms, there is a chance that there will be a film reel in there. And what these film reels are is they're pretty much like the radios in Derice, where like you go up into the little pack-a-punch room and you stick the film I can't say that word, film reel into the projector. You just walk up to the projector and hold X, and you'll hear a little tidbit about Nazi zombies, a little insight into the story and what's going on and all that. There's, I think, three of them in total, maybe 4. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but they're in those little creepy rooms that you sometimes get teleported to. So if you get in there, feel free to look around, pick a film reel up, and get your Nazi zombie lore on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for endgame.